I've got the Mets ranked 18th. Fangraphs has the Mets ranked 20th. The goal is to get back to the postseason. They won, I'm pretty sure, 101 games in 2022 and disappointed in the playoffs. 2023, the expectation was they're going to get back. They brought in Justin Verlander, traded him and Scherzer away by the deadline. They disappointed and only won 75 games. They added a lot of guys. Jeez. G-Man Choi, Jake Diekman's a big addition. Shintaro Fujinami, looking to fix his command issues. Sean Manaea was added, 2-year deal. Harrison Bader, really good defender. You brought in Jorge Lopez, who's really good. Joey Wendell, a solid defender. Luis Severino has been good in the past. You lost Vogelback. You lost Carlos Carrasco. You lost Luis Guillorme. Not really too big, though. Not too huge of losses. You brought in Adrian Hauser and Tyrone Taylor, who are both solid players. So you really did not lose that many pieces. And you added a lot. A lot of, not like big names, like not like the Shohei Ohtani names or Cody Bellinger. I guess there wasn't really huge names, but not like the MO of Steve Cohen from the past years. I just don't really believe in this rotation. Senga has a hurt shoulder. He's probably not going to be available for opening day, but he is by far the best pitcher on this team, and I think he could disappoint people. I think his 11.1% walk rate is just too high. You're not going to be able to consistently be amazing with a walk rate that high. I think he's good. I think he's more of a 3.3 or 3.4 ERA type of guy. You also have David Peterson, who had hip surgery last year, so he's probably not going to be available. Jose Quintana was a guy you signed who had a really solid 2022 year, was injured in 2023. I think he's a solid pitcher, but a 3-starter, not a 1-starter. Luis Severino looking to bounce back after a disappointing 2023. Sean Manaea signed the deal. I think, again, another average pitcher. Adrian Hauser, another average pitcher, and trying to give Tyler McGill a chance at a starting spot. I think they're very similar to the Cardinals in the sense that they have a lot of pitchers that are like, I guess they're solid, but they're not playoff caliber team. Even though I have them winning 79 games, that's could almost sneak into the playoffs the way I have the NL playing out. Their bullpen is really good. Edwin Diaz is coming back. That's going to be electric. Adam Ottavino is really good. Brooks Raley's amazing. Jake Diekman's solid. Jorge Lopez has had stretches where he's been good. So they got a really good bullpen. I think that's going to give them their extra wins as opposed to what they did last year. Francisco Alvarez looked really solid defensively. Amazing offensively last year in his short amount of time. If I can find his stats, Francisco Alvarez was really good. He had I guess not really good, but he had 25 homers in 123 games. He showed that he has a lot of power. His BABIP was only 222, so I could see his batting average going up to like 250, 260, which would bring his OPS all the way up to close to 800. I think Francisco Alvarez has the potential to be an amazing catcher in this league. First base, Pete Alonso, a lot going on with him. It looks like he's not going to get an extension. It looks like maybe they trade him at the deadline and say, hey, can you sign back here if they're not competing? But if they are competing for a spot, Pete Alonso is an amazing hitter, and he's probably one of the best hitters on the team. Second base, Jeff McNeil. He kind of does this thing where like every other year he's good. So last year was one of his worst years. I think this year he's going to bounce back and be a solid contact bat again. At third base, Brett Beatty is expected to be at third base. I think Ronnie Mauricio kind of had that spot locked up before he tore his ACL. I think Brett Beatty, this is his last chance to kind of figure things out. I don't know that I believe in him fully, but he was a top prospect. I think he can really, he could figure things out. At shortstop, I think Lindor is going to be an MVP candidate this year. Francisco Lindor is an amazing shortstop, and in my opinion, a top 3 shortstop in the game. It's not debatable. The top 3 are, in my opinion, Seager, Lindor, and Bobby Witt Jr. I probably put Lindor second. But an 806 OPS last year, his expected numbers were about what he did a year ago, and I just think he's really comfortable in New York now. I really do think he's going to be an MVP candidate, as he's always been one of the better shortstops in baseball. He struggled a little bit in his first year in New York. Every other year of his career, he's been really good. I think he's an MVP candidate. at that shortstop position. In left field, Brandon Nimmo is supposed to move to left because Bader is supposed to be in center. Brandon Nimmo's a very, very good baseball player, and you put him over in left where he's going to be even better defensively. You have Harrison Bader looking to bounce back and be a solid hitter. In right field, Starling Marte looking to bounce back, solid speed, good stolen base guy. I think he's old. I think he's probably going to lose his starting spot by June. I just don't really believe in Starling Marte. And then you have Tyrone Taylor, who you traded for, who could jump in that spot. You also have DJ Stewart, who was really good in 58 games last year. I don't see a world where he continues to do that. I think he's kind of stuck with where he is right now. You also have Joey Wendell, who can play some shortstop and some third base in the event Brett Beatty struggles or an event of injury. I think this team won't win the division. I don't think there's a world where they beat out the Braves, but I can see a world where they sneak into the playoffs. According to Out of the Park baseball simulations, they are going to sneak into the playoffs. I truly believe this is a playoff caliber team, especially in the NL where the wild card is kind of like it's like the top four is the clear, like the top three in the NL and the clear top three. I think the Mets could sneak in there. I have them winning 79 games, a +4 from a year ago. I have their over-under being a 78. Vegas says 81.5. I would bet the under on 81.5.